Welcome, Rotarians and guests, to the Rotary Club of York, where our mission is to improve life in the city of York by connecting our club's diverse community leaders through fellowship, action, and service. I'm your president, Wilda Ream. And as you know, we start off our meetings by reciting the four-way test. Please join me. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Today, our opening song, The Star-Spangled Banner, and the pledge will be led by Jack Dyson, followed by the invocation by past President Jackie Summers and introductions by Angela Merrick.
Rotarians and guests, please join me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Please join me in a word of prayer. Gracious and loving God, we give thanks for the opportunity to gather in the spirit of fellowship and friendship. While our nation is experiencing heightened discord, we ask for guidance in cultivating an environment that fosters harmony between us. May we remember the Rotary motto and be inspired to act with greater compassion and understanding. Let us pledge not just words, but actions, engaging in service that heals, uplifts, and brings us together. May our service above self shine as a beacon of unity. We lift up our speaker and honor the work of the Grotto Community Center in providing a welcoming space for entrepreneurs to keep their American dream alive now and well into the future. We give thanks for this meal and for those who have prepared and served it, and let us be reminded of the light within each of us. May peace be our resistance, may love be our legacy, and may you be our hope. Amen.
Good afternoon. I am pleased to have the honor of introducing our guests for today's meeting. So when I call your name, if you are a guest, please stand and remain standing until President Wilda has welcomed you. All right. Our first guest is Vanita Delari, guest of Jennifer Clancy. Cheryl Yeager, guest of membership. Tanya Keener, guest of membership. Chelsea Foster, guest of our speaker. Sherry McFadden, guest of our speaker. Vito Grippi, guest of our speaker. Skylar Yost, also guest of our speaker. Rita Whitney, guest of, I'm learning the acronyms. President-elect nominee Kelly Gibson. Amy Spellman, guest of President-elect nominee Kelly Gibson. Justin Ayala, guest of, President-elect nominee Kelly Gibson. The next guest, Bernice Quisenberry, guest of past President Jody Keller. Kevin Irving, past District Governor Dick Brown, and Lawrence Golan, also guest of President District Governor Dick Brown. Welcome.
Visitors, we're so glad to have you here with us today, whether this is your first visit or you're back again. It's always nice. It's always a pleasure to have new faces in the room. Rotary is about connection, service, and making a difference, and we're excited to share that spirit with you. We hope that you feel welcome and inspired during your time with us today. If what you see here today resonates with you, we'd love to have you consider becoming part of our Rotary family. Rotarians, please help me welcome our guests. You may be seated. And now for some announcements. The York Rotary Foundation, or YERF, board is meeting today at 1:30 downstairs in the Mixed Grill. The Student Education Committee will meet on September 23rd at 8 a.m. on Zoom. And now I invite Brian Grimm to the podium for a reminder from the Youth Literacy Committee.
Thanks, President Wilda. Hello, beautiful people. Our Literacy Committee is dedicated to raising awareness to promoting literacy by organizing programs that benefit the children in the city of York. Now, you may have already heard from my good friends, fellow Rotarians and committee members, Jason McSherry and Ms. Becca Hanlon. Becca's octopus jokes were top-notch. Speaking of which, so an octopus walks into the bar. You guys want to hear this one, right? So the octopus walks into the bar. The bartender says, "Rough day?" The octopus says, "You try working under pressure." Ocean, pressure. Keep up, people. I digress. I'm here to share something just as exciting. Our brand new initiative, Rotary Reads. You can see our logo up there on the screen. Before I dive into the details, though, let's zoom out a little bit. One of Rotary's International 7 areas of focus is education. To paraphrase their mission, we strengthen the capacity of communities to support basic education and literacy for children and adults. Rotary supports projects around the globe, and today we get to see how our efforts in New York connect to that larger vision. In fact, Ben is going to show us a quick video on the highlights of Rotary International's work. Ben?
Education is a bridge to opportunity, yet millions globally face barriers like poverty, lack of resources, and social inequalities. That's why Rotary remains committed to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, working to ensure equitable and inclusive quality education worldwide. We are people of action. We share a passion for improving communities and creating lasting change. In Guatemala, we provide teacher training, classroom resources, and youth programs, cutting the student dropout rate in half at participating schools. In the United States, our literacy programs open doors to new opportunities, helping hundreds of adults advance their education. In Africa, we provide opportunities for early childhood teachers to increase and update their skills. By empowering educators, improving access to education, and creating healthy learning environments, we reduce disparities and create bright futures for all. Learn more, find your cause, and take action at Rotary.org.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, let's go. Give it up. I also want to request, Doug, when you're president next year, could we have walk-up music just to kind of lighten up the mood a little bit? Thanks. Appreciate that. It's exciting for me to realize that our efforts in York with Rotary Reads was just one way that our Rotary is promoting and supporting literacy throughout the world with one book, one student at a time. That trademark's pending. Don't take it. So here's the plan. Rotary Reads will reach 750 pre-K students across York City, every single early learning center and pre-K center in the district of the city of York. The book we're sharing, Arlo Draws an Octopus, is where Arlo discovers that creativity is unique, and that's what makes us special. Some of you even tried drawing an octopus a few weeks back. And let's be honest, most of those masterpieces look nothing like the person's next to you, and you are all very unique and special. So that's the point, right? Creativity isn't about being the same, it's about being yourself. Now here's where we need your help. September 30th is the day of the event. We'll be delivering these books And if you're brave enough, we're going to be reading to these kids in the classrooms. You can sign up on Club Runner, as well as if technology isn't your thing, our friend Jason McSherry, give us a wave, we'll sign you up for you. So you don't even have to go online. But wait, there's more. So with 700 plus stickers, thankful for Eric Chase getting them donated to us. We have to put 750 stickers in 750 books. That's a lot of work. So September 24th at 9 a.m. at Community Connections for Children, we're having a sticker party. So if anybody wants to come out, 29 North Duke Street, we'll be stickering the books and organizing them by centers that we will be presenting the books to on the 30th. We'd love to have you. Please let me know if you can make it. Rotary Reads is more than just about dropping off books. It's a chance to show the community what Rotary stands for: service, connection, and impact. Literacy opens doors, creates opportunities, and lays the foundation for lifelong success. So let's inspire, let's laugh, and let's tackle this octopus. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Brian. I'm feeling a little judged about my artwork. I never claimed to be an artist. I'm a little slightly embarrassed that my photo keeps showing up places with that pathetic little octopus. But hopefully, if you haven't already signed up, sign up to read. I think you still need volunteers. You have 46 people signed up? Okay. It's okay. So I'm sure there are at least 30. I'm not good at math, so I'm not even trying to do that, but I'm sure there are 30 plus some of you, or 30 some odd number of you people who can sign up on the 30th to read to these kids. And again, making a lasting impact, giving them a book to take home with them, and something that they can read over and over again. You don't have to do voices. You don't have to be theatrical when you're reading. But you can be, Jody. So absolutely. I hope you're signed up. So absolutely, as you can do that however you'd like to do, but please sign up to read to the kids. And also next week, if you love organizing, I know Leanne's around here somewhere. This sounds like right up your alley. So putting stickers on books and organizing them for the 30th. Again, we need some extra hands. So be people of action and show up on the 24th and the 30th. Next up, I invite Nick Beck to the podium for an announcement from the Membership Recruitment Committee.
I'm just glad that Wilda, Brian, and I all wore gray today so we could all match. So I'm with the Membership Recruitment Committee. And as everyone should remember, we are holding our membership drive this year until December. So it started when Wilda's year started, and we're running it through December. The goal of the drive is that anybody who has a member join and they sponsor a member, your name will be put into a drawing. We will have 3 drawings for $100 gift cards to a restaurant of your choice here in York. So I think it's a great incentive for you to bring your members. Just the other day, I was in a district membership meeting with Aaron Jacobs, and one of the things that we were talking about was how, when you treat someone as a guest, they're more likely to join as a member. So really bringing people as your guests, making sure that they feel welcome, making sure that they understand the work that we do, making sure they realize, the impact that we have in the community. And, if all of that isn't enough, you could always offer that, if you win, you're going to take them out to dinner. So, that's an option that you could get if they just need one more incentive. So don't forget about that membership drive. It'll end in December, and we'll do the drawing soon after. So thank you very much.
Doug, notes for next year. It's your job to coordinate your outfits with all of the people at the podium for the day. Thank you, Nick. And again, it's just challenge you and continue to challenge you to bring guests and help grow the club. Again, thinking about who in your network should be part of the club. What impact could they make here in York? And especially with new people who are coming into our community, Rotary is a great way to make those connections. And as we talked about in member orientation this morning, food is a motivator. So as Nick suggested, take them out for dinner if you win. So again, please participate in that challenge and help us grow our club. At this time, I'd like to invite President-elect nominee Kelly Gibson to the podium to introduce our speaker for today.
Thank you, President Wilda. People who start businesses earn higher lifetime incomes, including 10% higher salaries than other workers. Every 1% increase in entrepreneurial activity in a state correlates with a 2% decline in poverty. Every dollar spent on arts and culture brings $7 to the local economy in related spending, tourism, and job creation. The Grotto Community Center exists to lower the barriers for people to follow their dreams, whether that dream is to create a new small business or to expand their creative endeavors. Alexa Bourne took on the role of interim executive director in a pivotal year for the organization. The Grotto recently moved to its forever home at 17 East Philadelphia Street. This new campus, 30,000 square feet across 4 buildings and the home of the Cultural Alliance, expands the horizons of the organization, enabling it to support more entrepreneurs and artists than ever before. A native of York, Alexa brings her role in MS in Public Policy and Management from Carnegie Mellon's Heinz College, several years in strategy consulting, multiple positions in nonprofit leadership, and a great love of that tiny push inside all of us to make what lives inside our imaginations. When asked what animal Alexa would choose to be, she replied without hesitation, humpback whale, like that fast, humpback whale. When I asked why, she shared that scientists have recently discovered that humpback whales don't pass on generational fear of humans to their offspring, even though we've hunted them to the brink of extinction, which is the first form of forgiveness in animals they've observed. I couldn't picture a more fitting kindred spirit for Alexa. Rotarians, please welcome Interim Executive Director of the Grotto and my friend Alexa Bourne.
It's a little unfair to make me tear up before I start talking to a room full of 150 people. I love this. Okay. All right, y'all. So one of the key ways we understand whether our economy is doing well is whether there is new job creation. And we know that new jobs actually come from the creation of new businesses, virtually all of them. When I say virtually all, I mean like above 95% of new jobs come from new business creation. I have a little bit of bad news for us here in Pennsylvania. We are tied for last with West Virginia for per capita new entrepreneur employers, which means people who are creating new businesses. There is a little bit of good news though, the Grotto. This is a lead in, get ready guys. The number one indicator of whether someone starts a new business or is successful at it is whether they have a personal relationship with someone who has been there before or is doing it alongside of them. I'm Alexa Bourne. I am the interim executive director of the Grotto Community Center. And before I keep moving forward and telling you what I want to tell you today, I need to take a minute to thank some people. Kelly, that humpback whale thing. Okay, here we go. So first of all, I do have to thank Kelly and the Cultural Alliance. They are a key member of the Grotto and they are integral to the fabric of who we are. We would not be where we are today without them. There is a table of unbelievable people sitting right here. I'm shouting out all of you, but I have to give an extra shout out to Chelsea Foster. This organization comes from her imagination. She's one of the co-founders. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about who we are. I'm going to tell you, what makes us up, what's our bread and butter. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our building and the future we hope that it holds. And then I'm going to spend some time showing you some examples because I think the proof really is in the people that are part of the Grotto. Okay. So we at the Grotto think of ourselves as a rainforest. This is drawn by one of our Grotto members, Gabby Herring. It is a metaphor that's been around for a bit. It was created by a man named Victor Huang. He wrote a book about how to create the next Silicon Valley, and he compared an innovation ecosystem to a rainforest. So this is the soup that we are swimming in as the Grotto. So if you just take a minute, I literally like to close my eyes. You may if you would like, but imagine what it feels like to be in a rainforest. It's lush, it's fertile. You don't know what you're going to find around the next tree. You might run into a jaguar, you might run into a corpse flower. It's possible that you will stumble across the next bug or plant that could cure cancer. You just don't know what you're going to come across. And that's what we try to foster at the Grotto, is that kind of sense of who knows what's coming next, all different things existing alongside one another. Okay. So as Kelly mentioned, we just moved to our forever home. This is a picture of it, but I kind of need to circle it for you so you can actually see it as a full campus of buildings. In total, it's actually 46,000 square feet. If we start on the right of the screen, moving across, the first set of buildings are two 1700s townhomes that have been turned into offices. The next facade is actually a cast iron facade, only 3 of which exist in the city of York, which is a pretty cool thing. We're honored to steward that into the future. Behind it is what we lovingly call the printing building, which the York Dispatch built onto this campus back in the early 1900s, I believe. And then in the front, which I actually won't spend a lot of time talking about, is the industrial side, which we are currently under a sales agreement to sell off. So what remains for us is 30,000 square feet that we get to fill into. So this is our beautiful, amazing front door where people get to walk in. The Grotto, just to remind you all, is a nonprofit co-working and artist space. We exist to lower the barriers for people who are trying new things, because we know that new things like new businesses and artistic endeavors are what builds an economy, are what fills us up, there's a million good things that come from people starting that which is inside their own imagination. So we have a saying that we talk about a lot where, people come to the Grotto because they think they're getting like a copier and some coffee and an office door and a business address. But you actually realize that what you end up getting when you come is a true sense of community, is someone coming alongside of you and helping you and answering questions for you, that kind of advice that just you can't really put a price tag on. So I want to take a minute to talk to you a little bit about what is our bread and butter, what makes it possible for us to move into a facility like this and feel confident that we're going to be able to grow into it. So the bread and butter of the Grotto is these 24/7 memberships. So as an entrepreneur, you can get a key to our door, come in, work whenever you want. You get high quality Wi-Fi. You get printing packages, you get all these resources, and you pay a monthly fee. It is month to month, so you can quit whenever you want. Hot desk membership is the first level where you just come in and you can sit at any table at any time. The next level up is you get your own dedicated desk where you have your own surface and your own locked drawers. And then the next level up is having your own office. This is the Cultural Alliance's office. So you've all just taken a tour of the Cultural Alliance office. So you get your own door, your own space for you. And we have, besides this one, we have 4 more offices and 1 office suite, which are all full at this point. This is the general co-working space where people can come in, and in the back, you can see we have a space for 2 artists in residence. We used to have a lot more artist spaces. We are currently working on building out more. It's a little bit like a hurt on our heart that we don't have as many artists in their regular 24/7 spaces, but we do have Paul and Julie, who are amazing artists that reside in the back of this space, and they're creating art in there all the time. But what's amazing about this building, so all of these functions that I've just described were functions that we had at our last building as well. This new building enables us to step into totally different areas and to support different types of entrepreneurs and artists. I couldn't possibly take you through all 30,000 square feet because that would take too long. Come get a tour whenever you want. There are plenty of people here who'd be happy to walk you around, but I'm just going to show you a few. So this is in the basement of the cast iron building. We currently have a glass artist who fuses glass in a kiln that is interested in being in this space. That's an example of something we couldn't have done at the last building. We didn't have the electrical power for that. We didn't have the facilities that could support that. This crazy space is on the back of the printing building, and it has a 16-foot garage door. You can drive right in off the alley. Because of this space, we're going to be able to hopefully welcome a printmaker who has all of these unique printing machines, one of which is 3 foot by 10 foot. He's going to be able to teach classes and get people to enjoy these old kind of arcane machines that still make really beautiful things. And then I just kind of wanted to show you this one because this is my favorite room in the whole building. It's at the top of the printing building. It is, this room is unbelievable. It has 3-foot I-beams underneath the floor, and this is all end grain wood. So it has this beautiful, quiet feeling. People have said to us that they would like to host events in it. So just to give you a sense of the variety of spaces that are now available to us in this new building. So next we're going to talk about the plan. We're just going to kind of walk through it because, again, it's just going to be impossible to get you through all 30,000 square feet in 20 minutes, but we'll give this a shot. So if you remember the picture from the beginning, East Philadelphia was where all those facades were. So now we're looking at the complex from the top down. So this building is the cast iron facade. It will always be the heart of the Grotto Commons. So this is where the functions that we've always had will continue to exist out into the future, artist spaces, offices, etc. This is where those offices were fixed up in the 1700s townhomes. So these are all full. What's amazing about these buildings is we also will get 2 storefronts. So we'll be able to support entrepreneurs who maybe have a retail portion of what they're doing. We'll be able to support them with a lower than market rate storefront. This is my favorite part of the campus, the printing building, which has all those industrial uses. So for us, the future, part of what the future holds is we're doing a lot of planning. We have an amazing board that is helping us with various pieces of getting this building up to snuff. So we're currently existing in about 5,000 square feet of the 30,000 square feet that are available to us in the future. Our fundraising committee just recently submitted 2 grants to the state, which total about $1.5 million. So hopefully those come through. We have a finance committee that has done all kinds of projections so that we understand as we fix up one space, this is how much revenue it will bring into our organization. We're an organization that it's very odd as a nonprofit to have this very steady stream of memberships that makes it possible for us to worry about other things than just pulling in grant funding all the time. We as a team have worked on both a full construction narrative, full construction drawings, and there are currently 4 different contracting companies that are working on bids to help us to understand how much this whole project is going to cost. We believe it's in the range of 3.5 to 5, but we're not sure yet. We're still working toward that. The fundraising committee also is working toward presenting to the York Area Capital Campaign Advisory Group. So as a team, we are all aligning resources because we believe so much in what this space can accomplish. This is that portion of the building that I told you I wasn't going to talk about because we're hopefully selling it off to a developer to turn it into apartments. It's not space that we particularly need for us, and it'll make another vibrant real estate addition happen in downtown York, right across from the Appel Center. Okay. So now I get into my favorite part, which is where I get to tell you about all the amazing things that happen beyond just those 24/7 memberships. So the 24/7 memberships are amazing because it brings us these deep relationships, like with a Kelly Gebson, like a Chelsea Foster, like a Skylar Yost, the people that are in all the time, a Cherie who has a dedicated desk. But what's amazing about our community, like I said, it is a rainforest. There's plenty of other things bubbling up all the time, things that you wouldn't expect. And so I'm just going to try to enumerate some of those and illustrate them to you. So one of the assets that we've had that's really surprised us over the years has been our photo studio. It is used over and over and over again. It's used hundreds of times a year, and it's used for such a variety of things. Just a couple weeks ago, there were 3 young men that looked like they were high schoolers who just came in and were like wearing cool outfits and taking pictures of each other. I don't know, that's a friendship I aspire to. I just thought it was great. But then also you have, Rebecca Hanlon of Our York Media doing interviews in there, right? So it's a full studio with lighting and backdrops. That enables people, it's a reduced rate, it's $30 an hour so that they can, content is king now. It's ubiquitous, it's everywhere, and it needs to look good. And this studio enables that to happen. Shout out to Skylar Yost. The next couple slides are to show you about all the events that we have where people come in and network. Skylar's done an amazing job. He's a board member, a corporate sponsor, a member, trying to create consistent Tuesday morning coffee networking meetings that enable people to just get in the rhythm of you can come in and meet new people and learn new things. This is an example of a brand new one that he partnered with Regenol out of Lancaster to talk about sustainability, environmental sustainability. We host Keystone Merge every 4th month, which is an opportunity for entrepreneurs to come in, talk about their new venture, and describe a specific problem that they're having. And the community comes together and tries to solve that problem in real time. So you can see it's brand new people through the space all the time. These next 2 photos actually come from a creative project run by our creative lead, Helen Tafasa. And they're meant to just illustrate 2 communities that have surprised me recently. So at the Grotto, we have a group of people who have now started writing together and sharing that writing and critiquing it with one another, which is such an amazing thing to have in our space to add to that artistic community that is there. The next one that's really surprised me is photography. So shout out to Vito Griffey here. There has been a growing community of people that are actually interested in film photography and want to learn how to develop their own film. If you go to college, you have access to a dark room, but there's no other dark rooms nearby that you as a community member can just use. We did a survey about a year ago and we're shocked to have almost 40 respondents. We were hoping for like 10. And every single one of them said, I would use a community darkroom and I know someone who would, which is just an impressive number for just trying it out. Since then, we have planned and are going to install a darkroom, and we also have workshops that we're working on for when it opens so that people can learn how to use a darkroom and engage in this older art form. We have heard over and over again that people are interested in venues for music that are more interesting or more intimate, excuse me. So this is actually a photo of a benefit concert that Public Disco Porch did for us almost 2 years ago now. But we have gotten this request over and over again that they would like a place where we can share music together. And then this is my last one, but this is probably the most important one because I think it truly illustrates to you what I mean by how a rainforest works. So this is a photo from February of this year. In the front right corner is Helen Tafasa. She had a request to do a networking event for artists in particular. Again, she was hoping on 25 to 30 people. We got 80. And what ended up happening is at that meeting, among many other things that people said they wanted to be able to do in the community, Vito Grippi and Liz Dawson, 2 professors at your college, said that they would like to be able to host an artist in residency program. Shout out to Rita Whitney. We met with them after that meeting. Rita provided funding. We provided space and software for them to be able to organize that group. And now that artist residency is already happening. It is the 3rd day today of 8 meetings. There will be a final show November 6th, where the artists who created that work are going to be able to display what they created in that time doing the residency at the Grotto. I just hope that what you're really taking away more than anything else is that there is a diversity of things that people want to be able to do. And we are just lucky enough to be the people that hold the space for it. We are, it's like the space itself creates these things, but then all the people that join up do too. And I often say that the Grotto is a funny organization to lead because we are who's here. We are who shows up. And it's amazing to watch folks create something new because they're in a space that welcomes it. So we're doing the best to show you that we are a rainforest. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. This has been really an amazing experience. I'm super thankful to Rotary in general and Lynn and Sean for the organizing. So thank you to you all. I really appreciate it. I have to wait for the microphone. I was told, okay.
I don't have a question.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. I just wanted to confiscate the microphone. I really just want to say thank you. I know the Grotto was born at an unfortunate time right before the pandemic. And our business was going through a rough time in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we pretty much had to rebuild who we were as a business, and the Grotto helped us do that. You provided a space for us to come and work when our children took over our home because that's where they were.
Mhm.
You provided professional space that was affordable and accessible. For those who are not in a visual sort of industry, to be able to rent a professional photo studio for $30 an hour, like this isn't just a room, it's built out with thousands of dollars worth of lighting and backdrops and equipment. That would be a huge investment for any business to acquire. And that's revenue generating for us. It's something that we can offer to those we work with as a service at an affordable rate because we're not having to invest thousands of dollars ourselves into it. So the Grotto has helped us rebuild our business since COVID because of the accessibility. And I know we have talked about other resources that we would love to have that would be revenue generating, that would continue our growth. And I'm excited that the Grotto is open to all of those things that would be beneficial to us. So in terms of economic ripple effect, since COVID, we've been able to rehire 2 full-time employees. It is the livelihood for my family, and you've been a part of that, so thank you.
Of course. I mean, I know you didn't ask a question, but I'm going to respond to you because I think this is a beautiful example. Rebecca also hosts an entrepreneur support group every month. So Rebecca gives back because she feels she has been given to, and that's another, part of that allegory of the rainforest, right? Is like you are given to, and so you give. There's this gift economy that happens because we are offering something that people need at a rate that's realistic, and we try to be dependable and not surprise them. So thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I too love the rainforest.
Wait,
A
where-
question. I'm sorry, is there somebody else?
Oh, I just can't see you. Hi.
Is there a maximum tenure that an artist can remain in the Grotto?
No, there's not. There's neither a maximum nor a minimum. So we very purposefully make things month to month so that people can try it out. And if it's not working, that's a-okay. Same thing with the spaces. We're not really looking to kick anybody out. As long as it is useful to them, then they are welcome to stay.
Over here.
Hi.
I saw on the map or the outline that you have parking. Parking's a huge thing. Is that going to be sold off to the apartments or is that still
No,
going to
it's
be
not.
up to the Grotto?
Well, we only have 12 spaces. They are in high demand and they are rented. So they get rented by our members first. Our apartment building is going to build parking underneath there. So don't worry, you won't lose any parking spots around the apartment building.
Hey, Alexa, thank you for being here. Can you speak just a little bit about sort of how the organization is envisioning the organization on sort of a business plan level and sort of the revenues earned, unearned, contributed that are going to be needed to support it moving forward?
Yeah, so this was a topic area that I was kind of deciding how would I possibly cover it. So thank you for asking a question about it. So we are actually set up as a social enterprise. The Grotto Community Center is the nonprofit arm. There is a benefit corporation arm that actually owns the building and is charged with fixing it up and preparing it and basically making sure there's room for the Grotto out into the future. The Grotto is part owner, they're 10% owner of that benefit corporation. So as of right now, we are quickly approaching, because the move was difficult and there was some shifts there, we're quickly approaching break even only in 5,000 square feet of a 30,000 square foot building. So the hope is that we can do a lot of good projections that show us when we fix this space up, it provides this much more revenue. And then that way, when we are seeking capital for fixing up the building, we know precisely what we need to kind of get through those phases out into the future. The majority of our funding, like I said, comes from those 24/7 memberships, but we do have a healthy percentage that comes from people who are using the building kind of one-off here and there. This last year, we got a couple bigger grants, so our pie chart looks a little different than it has in the past. There's a larger grant portion. But honestly, as a fundraising committee, we're kind of hoping to keep that going. More fundraising alongside of the revenue that we get from memberships. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today. My very quick question is for the prospective retail space that you had referenced. Is the idea to have anchor tenants there or almost to kind of act as an incubator to have new businesses come through the city of York?
Well, I think for now, so a big question we ask ourselves a lot is the who. So great ideas are a dime a dozen. Someone has to actually do it. So if someone's going to run an incubator, I need someone to come along and tell me running an incubator for storefront businesses is my passion, and we will help them make it work. I think for now, what we're really looking for are people that want to hold it down and be a consistent presence for our members. We found that when we were above, our last home was above Prince Street in the square, having a restaurant or food vendor on site was good for everybody. So, we've put the feelers out for that, and we do have some people who are interested. But yeah, so I think for now, it's probably a stable tenant who wants to stick around, but we're always open. So if that's your idea, come find me.
Hi, Alexa.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Skylar I probably should have just asked him, but anyway, the launch box is
Mhm.
there.
Yes.
And I didn't know that's where the launch box went. I thought it was totally gone. But anyway, I was involved with Penn State when that happened. So
Nice.
I'm just excited to see that's working.
Mhm.
And I hope that you are getting some makers in there to use it. So,
Oh, he's doing a great job.
and you're still getting money from Penn State.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, they still exist with us.
I'd like to ask a related question. Can you talk about how the Grotto fits in on the landscape with other organizations that are doing business incubation kinds of settings
Sure.
or artist studio space settings, trying to cultivate
Yeah.
in both directions? You're not alone
Mm-mm.
in the landscape. To what extent do you collaborate or compete with others that are doing things of this nature in the community?
Well, I mean, from what I've heard from Kelly, and you should correct me if I'm wrong here, but artist studios are like always in demand. So more artist studios is better always. So thankfully, I mean, we have great relationships with Ophelia, with, other arts organizations downtown. So we share and we go to each other's things and all that kind of stuff. As far as incubation, really our new headway in that area is with Skylar at Launchbox. We've created a program with him, really through you. You created it, we're supporting you, to give his, the folks that are coming to him for business advice space within the Grotto. So we are open to collaboration on anything. I don't know of many other incubator type programs in the area. You're probably a better person to answer that question. They seem a little further afield, like up in Harrisburg, the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And Keystone Merge is one of those places where we partner and connect with a lot of those other organizations throughout the region. But yeah, always looking for more inroads. So if you know of someone I should be talking to, just let me know.
So, yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Skylar Yost. I run the York Launchbox as well as the Mont Alto Launchbox. Both are continuing to remain active even while the campuses are not. So hold that thought. The question about incubators and other incubators, incubators are, the word incubator is a very varied term in how it's used. So I actually taught a course for the International Economic Development Council this past summer on incubators, accelerators, and a separate one on technical assistance. And the reality is that any program that has an element of in-place activity can be referred to as an incubator. They do many different things, and the real goal is to make sure that no entrepreneur has a wrong door. So wherever they come, they can get plugged into the network and they can move through that to find the support they need at any given time. So, I have a longstanding relationship with Oscar at the JD Brown Center. I know I do most of my work, including a lot at the Grotto with Joe Hackett of Ben Franklin Technology Partners, and he has space at the JD Brown Center, plugs in there quite a bit. So the entire world of incubators and business support is one of making sure there are connection points between different organizations, because no organization is going to solve every need for a given company. And as we've talked about a lot, the main goal is to get people plugged in to a network of peers, because that's where most learning is going to come from. So that's why every single event that I do is at a co-working space, whether here or in Lancaster. But in York, it's almost exclusively at the Grotto.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
I have a quick question. In my inbox this morning or yesterday, I received a notice about Merge York at the Grotto to RSVP.
Yes.
I plan to attend possibly, but I don't know. Can you give us a sneak peek who's giving the talks?
I don't know who's giving the talk, but Dustin Betts does. But yeah, so it's an entrepreneur who's going to tell you about their business and what problem that they're currently facing. So yeah, I'm not sure who the next presenters are. Do you know? Tanisha Fuentes is one of them. I think they were down to one last he emailed me. He's up to two. Okay, cool. All right, so Skylar knows. Okay.
Wonderful job.
Thank you.
So if you could snap your fingers and have something at the building tomorrow, what would it be?
You're like asking me to pick between my kids. All right. I honestly am going to say the event space because it offers two things. It offers a space to gather, but one of the big things that we've heard from artists is having space to be able to share what they know with other artists. So it wouldn't just be like for parties. It would be more about sharing knowledge, because that is what we find our members, that peer-to-peer learning is what people want right now. So a space to be able to do that.
Great
Sheree.
job, Alexa.
Thank you, Sheree. I
Uh,
paid all of them,
yeah.
just so you know.
Well, I just wanted to say the journey of the Grotto, starting with Chelsea and the vision and the little stickers of saying that the Grotto is going to be downtown. You would just see on places, to getting the space, to having pop-ups. It's been a privilege and an honor, and I'm talking to you too, and you too, to be a part of this organization. And I'm heavily involved in the community. This is hands down my favorite board to be on, because not only do we do cool stuff with cool people, they have become family, and the nature of support. It's, a lot of times we give a lot to boards, right, and committees and initiatives, and we don't always think about like a mutual benefit and what that is, or we're making connections. But I've made friends, connections. I got to come to Rotary and have a great lunch. But it's just been a big privilege and pleasure being a part of the organization, and having gone through kind of the past year we have. I am grateful that you've been at the helm of that to help us flow and not force, and in creating such a great environment when we come into the Grotto. That's like my second home. So coming in there has truly saved like my life in this space. But if you have not been, and if you're downtown, please stop in. We have not a live exhibit, but an exhibit currently up. It's a beautiful space to come and look at. The tour is great and grand. The elevator is super dope. And we have 2 York safes. Not sure who in here is obsessed with them like I am, but we got 2.
That's true.
So thank you for this presentation and allowing us to be a part of your vision. So yes, please come visit us and pass on the word, because we're cool people and we like other cool people and we make people cool. So just want to say.
Ew. Thank you. Should I? Oh, more questions. See it coming. Hi, Eric.
Hey, thanks also for being here. What keeps you up at night in the context of the Grotto, not your kids, but in the context of the Grotto, what is the long-term threat to eventual full success? What keeps you up at night?
Well, the immediate thing that keeps me up at night is we're waiting to get the roofs fixed. We got the bid and we're ready to go. So no more leaking in any rooms. Long-term, I mean, I just think we as an organization, we have a lot of very experienced people on the board, but we acknowledged as we looked at each other, none of us have taken on a capital campaign before, right? So we've got Megan Given and Karen Swartz and Scott, like we got some heavy hitters. But we are taking on a new thing for all of us. So I think what we don't know is kind of what keeps me up at night, the stumbling blocks that we may come across that we're not anticipating. But, we're lucky to have amazing advisors and relationships without the community. So I'm not too worried about that. But the rain on my, my floor, my end grain wood floor, that keeps me up at night. So.
Thank you, Alexa. It is a beautiful space. I know Leadership York has held some sessions there. It's always great to show off and have assets in our community to show off. It's also inspiring to see just all the activity that's happening downtown, and having a space that continues to support entrepreneurs and new businesses is vitally important to our economy. And as we know, a vibrant city is a vibrant county. Our speaker today has signed a book to be donated to the York JCC Early Learning Childhood Education Center, along with a bookmark made by students at Creative York. It's Harold and the Purple Crayon. And yeah, I just heard audible, like, I've never even heard of this book, so I feel like I just need to take it. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is not the time to air my secrets. I think I'm going to take this and read it because apparently I'm missing out. But that'll be donated along with that bookmark from Creative York. Next week, we'll hear from our returning outbound youth exchange student, Aya Klein, who will be speaking about her youth exchange year in southern Brazil. So with that, this meeting is adjourned.